Yahweh Shai, alright, or Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, giving double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. I also want to say peace and blessings to the elect, alright? You're almost out of here. Today I want to go into Esau's strategy for devaluing the 12 tribes, ultimately to destroy them, because all throughout history, Esau's history, Esau will devalue his opposition through something called wartime propaganda. Alright, starting with the so-called Native Americans, who are biblically the Gadites, according to the Bible. They're the Gadites. And what he did was he had a lot of illustrations projecting them to be what? Pagans, savages. So in essence, he was dehumanizing them to ultimately justify destroying them, because you give people these titles and attach them to this paganism and savagery, you're dehumanizing them ultimately to justify destroying them, so you won't be looked at as like a bad person. Same thing with Jake. You know, when he brought us over here, when Esau brought us over here to America, his whole thing was telling the whole world through so-called science, alright, that we were 3/5 of a man, to basically justify bringing us over here in cargo slave ships, as though we were actually cargo, and actually working us in the Americas as though we were human cattle. Because what do you do with your cattle? You work them. They're servants, they're slaves, your cattle, your livestock. So basically, we were considered livestock, man. Even back then, when they were crusading for equal rights, you know, with the so-called poor white man, you know, he was saying that all men are created equal. That wasn't talking about us, because we were still in on the plantation, because we weren't considered men to be considered equal. We were considered the men's animals. All right, but their propaganda was there to justify what he did to us, and that was work us like live cattle, man, human livestock, man. All right, even after slavery, which they showed you this on the documentary called The 13th, which is on Netflix. After slavery, they had another propaganda out to devalue us, to ultimately imprison us and destroy us. And that was the new thing, was that we were criminals. All right, by calling us criminals, you would scare the world, scare Esau and everybody else into putting us in the penitentiary, because through the penitentiary you were legally a slave. Alright? So you're still 3/5 of a man, and you're still legally a slave, especially if you go into the penitentiary. So the propaganda he had for that was movies like the original Birth of a Nation, where he had an Edomite dressed as a so-called black man that was going to rape or trying to rape a so-called white woman. Alright? And the KKK rescued the so-called white woman from the so-called black man. But that was the source of his propaganda, as pushing the fact that we were criminals. Even now, when people see the 12 tribes, because of Esau's propaganda, they think, oh, he's a criminal. The Northern Kingdom, Issachar, he calls, you know, Esau calls them illegal immigrants. If you constantly call somebody illegal immigrants, basically in your brain and your perception of them is going to be that they're not your equal. All right, their dollar is weaker, or their currency is weaker, they're poor, they're from a developing country, and they're also called illegal aliens. You're not going to attach them as your equal, your peer, because Esau used propaganda to devalue and then destroy. But when he destroys you, he doesn't look at you as an equal. Even over there in the Middle East, he devalued them. He called them terrorists. So when Esau goes there and he drops bombs or does all this destruction towards hundreds of thousands of women and children, and your little American mind, all right, you don't think that's a bad thing, because you've been programmed to think that they're not your equal, man, which they're heathens. But we're just bringing out the point that Esau devalues and then destroys, man. All right, that's what he's doing with us. That's why he shows Jake doing all this dumb stuff in the streets, man, because he's projecting you as a nation as evil people, man, that's not fit for this society. Hence the 3 movies called The Purge, you know, the movie The Purge with its sequels, man. All right, but you know, with that, I hope you brothers are edified. Into the next lesson. Shalom.